It's off to Leonard, defended by Simmons. Is this the dagger?
High fly ball, right field. Grossman back, track, wall, see ya! Into the second deck. A grand slam the other way for Aaron Judge, and the Yankees are pouring it on.
For the latest news throughout the sports world, tune in to Sports Talk with R&J every Wednesday at 1 p.m.
Burks fakes, Burks drive, alley-oop to Toppin! Oh, with the left hand!
A couple of veterans banging down low, and it's Embiid with that little baby hook.
For Westbrook, he handles the basketball, another lob! Throw it down! AD again!
DeRozan, Vucevic, Levine, Caruso, and Ball. DeMar DeRozan, how many times have we seen that?
What is going on, basketball fans? We are back with the Posting Up podcast. Big Jason Kingsley joined me. Sean Scanlon couldn't join us today, but he will be here hopefully next time. Guys, we got a little bit of basketball to talk about a weekend, actually exactly a week into the NBA season. Some teams have played 4 games, some teams have played 3. Either way, you're kind of getting a little bit of a sense for how players are going to look like, although, you know, still is only 3 or 4 games, so you truly never know. But all of our teams have played a decent amount of games. Jace, I'm going to go to you first. I want to know what you think of the Jazz's start to the 2021-22 campaign.
I mean, it's all right. I mean, wins against the Kings and Thunder. I mean, nothing to really bring home and like brag about. But we got a real test tonight against the Nuggets. I'm excited to see that game. But, I mean, everything's been going as planned. I really love the offensive production that Rudy Gobert, he's really stepped up offensively. And, I mean, he's been a beast defensively. I mean, he's averaging 20.5 rebounds a game. Like, in 2 games, it's only 2 games. But still, that's absurd. He's been an actual monster. I really do want to see Rudy go. When Rudy Gay gets healthy, I want to see how he comes in and fits in a little bit as far as like the second group goes. I mean, Jordan Clarkson, 6th man of the year last year, doing the same stuff this year. I mean, it's nothing really new. I'm very excited to see what they can do tonight. But and they've taken care of business against the Kings and Thunder. But I don't know if they're still going to be at that top as they were last year. It's really going to come down to tonight in their first real test. But I've liked what I've seen. Granted, it's been against the Kings and the Thunder, but Rudy Gobert's been playing out of his mind.
Zay, the Knicks are 2-1. They take on my Sixers tonight. Why don't you analyze first their start to the season, and then why don't you give me a little bit of prediction stuff for going on for tonight's game? But why don't you start with how they've started through 3 games?
You couldn't have asked for a better situation for the Knicks. Honestly, out the gate, you get a team that's heralded as one of every year normally one of the best teams in the Eastern Conference. The Boston Celtics. You go out there, you know, double overtime win. It was gutty win. It's what you needed for that team. You needed them to get into a big game early to see where they stand against teams who are going to be considered, you know, of the better bunch in that group. So I think that worked out well. And then I was also happy, even though it sounds weird, I was actually happy with the loss to Orlando the other night after blowing them out, because it kind of gives you that sense of bringing them back down to earth, because they did blow out Orlando the other day. And then you have the big win against the Celtics, but you also need to realize that there's still much to grow on this team. There's still a lot of players that need to continue to develop and improve, like RJ Barrett. His defense has been solid through the first 3 games. I think he can improve that and take it up a notch, because he again is one of these players who I think will be one of those guys at the end of the year who will be in that running for most improved player of the year because he's been looking like that for the most part. And I guess, again, this is the type of situation you want. Like I said, you want the Knicks to come back down to earth. Big game tonight against the 76ers, who, again, was a top team in the division last year in the East. They were number 2 seed, number 1 seed at one point. So that's a team that you want to get in there early. And yeah, you want to get them in there early, and you want to play teams like that with such a weak schedule the Knicks have coming up. They don't have many teams, especially in the beginning of their schedule, who are in the playoffs. So when you do get these teams like the 76ers and the Bucks in a couple of games, you really want to use these games to kind of gauge where your team is at going into the season and where you need to improve. So I think from a standpoint, the Knicks are in a really good spot. I'm hoping we can win tonight. I think, again, the 3-point shooting has improved. Defense is coming along like it always has. Hopefully Nerlens Noel can return and be that defender that we need to come off the bench and just stop people like he did all last year in the paint. Mitchell Robinson, though he is still winded and out of shape, has looked impressive at times. And once he gets going, he'll get going. And again, Obi Toppin has stepped it up. And Derrick Rose continues to be a gem trade that we traded last year that no one thought was going to be an impact, has continued to be this huge impact for this team as they continue to go forward. But again, I like where the Knicks sitting, and I think going forward, the Knicks will continue to improve and hopefully make a push at one of those top 4 seeds going going later into the season, maybe even top 3 this year.
Yeah, certainly. Like you said, you never want your guys to be riding too high on themselves. Obviously, a blowout against a team that it's unusual you see the same opponent 2 times in a row, especially this early in the season. So, not the worst thing in the world that they blew you out. They had a short turnaround. They could easily go and watch some film and see what they did wrong and fix their mistakes. And that's obviously what they did. But getting to my 76ers, opening night win against the Pelicans and a win against the Thunder. Thunder, I'm not expecting them to be much of a competitive team this year. I mean, they got blown out by the Houston Rockets of all teams. So I don't expect them to have, put up a fight against anyone, although it is the NBA and, anyone can win any given game. And then they're this close to being 3-0, blowing a lead late in the game against the Brooklyn Nets. I didn't like that game at all. Tobias Harris had a great game, though. There's just players that have to step up. There's nothing more I could say about that besides, coaching down the stretch, and obviously execution was just a big problem. And blowing that lead where we took a lead into the late in the fourth quarter, then losing that one 114-109. But I've been impressed mostly with the role players on this team. Furkan Korkmaz opening night, he had 22 points. Seth Curry against the Thunder the other night led this team in scoring with 28. There's a lot of questions regarding the Sixers' depth coming into this season, and I definitely love what I've seen from guys like Seth Curry, Furkan Korkmaz, even Tyrese Maxey's been putting up some good numbers. So I think if we can continue, and I think tonight if Embiid is healthy and plays in the Mecca in New York tonight, I think we can put on a good show for everyone who attends that one. But hopefully we could get off a win against the Knicks. Like Isaiah said, they're aiming for that top 4 range again in the East. So two of the East's probably best teams or hopeful best teams go at it tonight. And Jace, like you said, your Jazz have their first real test of the season against the Denver Nuggets. We are going to talk about the Chicago Bulls next. They are off to a 4-0 start for the first time since 1996-97. And we all know what season that was. So we're going to run you guys an ad first, and then we'll get into some talk about the Chicago Bulls.
It's been a pretty wet summer in Connecticut, and that means more mosquitoes than ever. If you didn't have your home service for mosquito control and find you're spending most of your time outside swatting those little pests, you are in luck. Mosquito Shield of Central Connecticut provides the best value in mosquito control services because of how they treat your yard using the Mosquito Shield tailored treatment system. They don't use a fixed schedule or an identical product one-size-fits-all service program because you can't control mosquitoes on a set number of sprays or visits. Unlike the competition, Mosquito Shield of Central Connecticut will service you for this season, whatever it takes to provide superior results. This promise has awarded them an industry-leading consumer retention rating of 90%. Visit MosquitoShieldCT.com to schedule an appointment with Wade DeCesare and enjoy the rest of your summer mosquito-free.
Mosquito Shield, they do great work. They are a big help for promoting our CMG network. If you mention our show when you go to get a spring spray from them, so mention the Posting Up podcast when you go to Mosquito Shield, you will get a discount from them for listening to us. So it's kind of like a perfect marriage there between us. But getting back into some basketball, the Bulls are 4-0. Like I said, for the first time since the 1996-97 season. New additions, Lonzo Ball, DeMar DeRozan, Vucevic they added late last year, and Levine, who is, blossomed into the star of Chicago basketball. But I'm telling you guys, late down the stretch in the game last night against Toronto, DeMar DeRozan hit some pretty big shots. And, like you heard in the intro, DeMar DeRozan hit a little step back mid-range shot, and the announcer goes, how many times have we seen that? Because as we know, DeMar DeRozan is a Raptor great. But the Bulls, they look great. They have some quality wins too. That Raptors team is probably going to be scrapping for a playoff spot, so they are no joke. Like I mentioned, the new additions, I think Lonzo Ball's looked very good, a triple-double early on in the season for him. Zay, I'm going to start with you. Obviously, the Bulls are an immediate threat to the Knicks being in the same conference. What do you think of the Bulls' start this season?
In what conference? The Bulls in the Pacific, bro.
I didn't mean division. I meant like conference.
Sorry. Excuse me, conference. Yeah. Not really worried about them at all. I'm gonna be honest. They look great. But I believe that all teams have a growing, have a point where they have to grow and learn, and they're gonna run into struggles. And I don't think they've reached that point yet where they've reached struggles. And I think we'll start to see who that Bulls team is when they start to go into losing streaks and how they respond from that. Similar to how I said last year with my whole Knicks situation, it's going to be about how those teams bounce back from those situations because they're new. They still need to gel. They still need to learn to get, know each other, to play together. That's always something that happens when you bring players from different places onto one team and, try to make them into one team. So do I think they're legit? It's hard to say right now, but I do think they will possibly make a run in the playoffs, maybe second round of the playoffs, because they have too much talent there for them. I don't see for them not to make the second round of the playoffs, but I don't know. As a legit threat to the division right now, I don't think so right now. I think there's still going to be time, and I still think they have to grow as a team and still learn. They have to go through the bumps and whatnot. They haven't done that yet.
Jace, you like what you've seen from this Bulls team so far? What do you think the ceiling for this team could be based on how they've looked so far?
Last week, I did a little bit of a best bets type of segment predicting the future. I had the Bulls plus 2,200 to win their division. I think this is going to be a legitimate team. I think they're going to legitimately contend because all four of those guys, Vucevic, DeRozan, Ball, Levine, they're all hungry. They're young and hungry, and they're ready to take that next step. And I think they understand that altogether. And, I mean, we saw last night DeMar DeRozan close out the game. But this is a team, like, there's no real number one guy. Like, any given night, regardless of any situation, someone can step up and make that final play, close out the game for them when they need to. Lonzo Ball, he's been shooting great from three so far this season. I know, like, his jump shot was questionable in the past. He's been looking really, really good. This team, I mean, they have been clicking on all cylinders to come out the gate, but I do agree with Zay. I do want to see them face a little bit more adversity and see if they are really a title contender, but I think they are definitely a legitimate playoff contender, and I think they are in that upper four. I think they will be a legitimate home court advantage contender when all is said and done. But, yeah, like they're so good. Any one of those four guys can close out a game for you when you need it. And no other team besides maybe the Lakers can do that for you right now. So I think something special. This is the start of something special in Chicago right now.
Great points made there by you guys. Obviously, only time will tell with the Chicago Bulls if they can make some noise in the Eastern Conference. Maybe they make a move at the deadline. Who knows? Anyways, we're going to run you guys another ad here from Clovercrest Media, and we're going to get into our bet locks of the night for the NBA to close out our show.
Do you have a 401k and some savings for future retirement, but you don't even know if it's enough to live off of? How much is enough? And how often do you think about it? The team at JPEX Financial Group can help set your mind at ease. We specialize in creating strategies, doing the planning and managing of your financial, educational, and investment needs. We help clients pursue their investment goals with sound financial strategies. You deserve a personal, tailored plan. Lasting, meaningful, and open relationships are the foundation of our practice. You've worked hard for your money and should feel confident with your investment choices as you make decisions for your financial future. Your goals are our goals. We are dedicated to your needs and hopes for your future. Visit our website or give us a call at 860-430-5397.
All right, so getting into our bet locks of the night. Gentlemen, obviously, sports betting was just recently legalized in Connecticut. I know, Zay, you're in New York, so just pretend you're living in Connecticut, all right? And,
I'll take a trip to Jersey.
Yeah. Go over the bridge, place a bet in New Jersey, and then
I think we could actually bet upstate New York. I think actually we can actually bet.
Hey, I don't know the laws. I know parts of New York can't bet, but if you can, you're gonna want to place these ones because I think I think the three of us know basketball pretty well. Jace, I'm gonna go to your lock first. What you got?
Oh, all right. I'm sorry to do this to you, Lucas. -2, the Knicks. I think at home
Sweep.
I think they get it. Also, I mean, I said this last year. I said this deep last year before Mitchell Robinson got injured. The Knicks, just with Mitchell Robinson, I know they don't got Noel, but still he can really. I think he can slow down Joel Embiid. And the other night, D Rose was draining from three. All cylinders have been clicking for this Knicks team. Even in that loss to the Magic, they still looked pretty good at a lot of the time. And in that Thunder game with the Sixers, I just felt like, yeah, they won, but it felt like they were on cruise control most of that game. And it's the third game of the season. You can't be doing that. You need to be coming out and with an intent, and especially with what's going on around the organization, you need to come out and show that you're not letting that affect you. And I didn't see that with the Thunder game, even though they got the win. But, yeah, I think the Knicks get it done pretty well. I see like a 10, 15-point win by the Knicks at home tonight.
Wow.
Hey, I mean, you guys want to listen to Jason lose some money, go ahead. I'm just joking. I see that as a realistic possibility as well. Isaiah, why don't you give me what you got?
I wish you went with me first. I legit had the same game, honestly, believe it or not. If he was going to pick picks, I was going to pick my team to get me the first win, obviously. But no, it's not based off of that. It's based off the fact the Knicks are 25-16 at home against the spread. So that, to me, works favorable in their opinion. And again, the Knicks should be 2-0 at home. Obviously, they blew a game to the Magic that they really shouldn't have blown. They came out with no effort. They really just thought they were going to walk over the team that they walked over again. And I don't see that happening. But I do believe the Knicks, with the +2 advantage, -2 disadvantage, will still cover enough to win. Even though I do, unlike Jace, think this will be closer because these games, no matter who's playing, is always close. We don't like each other. Rivalry, it's just always close. Whether it's Ben Simmons out there or not, that game is going to be a close one. I'm sorry to say it. The 76ers are annoying. Philadelphia, the town, is annoying. I hate Philly, but it is what it is.
So getting to my lock, enough of the Knicks Sixers talk. We're gonna let the players decide how that one goes. I got the Warriors -9.5. I mean, I think that's a lock over the Oklahoma City Thunder. Warriors have played good basketball. They've beaten some pretty good teams. So I say Warriors -9.5. $10 bet gets you $19.50. So that's that. I think that is it for our show today. So tune in next Tuesday. We're gonna eventually start doing Saturdays once the season gets into the thick of things. So stay tuned for that announcement, and we will see you next Tuesday for Kings A. Big Jace and Lucas Walduck. This has been the Posting Up Podcast. Peace.
veterans banging down low, and it's Embiid with that little baby hook.
To Westbrook. He handles the basketball. Another lob! Throw it down! AD again.
DeRozan, Vucevic, Levine, Caruso, and Ball. DeMar DeRozan, how many times have we seen that?
Hello, my name is Joe Aguirre. I'm the president of Clovercrest Media Group. And here at CMG, we have a wide variety of podcasts, including sports shows like Keys to the City, The Roll Call, Throwing Jabs, All Four Downs, and Jawing About the G-Men. And great true crime shows like Sticky Week, Crimes and Consequences, Ivy League Murders, and Bird, the unsolved murder of David Eichmann. You can find all these podcasts and so much more by visiting clovercrestmedia.com.